What's up, everybody? Not only is the Chipotle winning, but I was trying to get my source record to work because I'm just gonna start source recording the camera. What's up, everybody? So much hatred, so much vitriol in the chat today. That is a scary icon, Dazzling. I don't like that one. Mods ban anybody who puts that scary moon emoji in the chat, please. Let's see, is my source record even working right? Oh, it's doing something. What are your thoughts on the event? Very cool. I can't wait to do it. I may submit some existing art, or I'd like to finish my what's it called? Oh my goodness. My ultra kill stuff. I think that'd be a fun one to add once I get some acrylic markers. And apparently, someone in the Drawbox Discord actually said that Copic or Copic is I say Copic, but I'm not sure. They're doing acrylic markers now, like paint markers, and that's dangerous because my wallet will explode if that happens. That could be false. Oh my goodness. But I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the promptathon. It's all gonna be some super fun stuff. I also realized you can see my reflection in my desk. You can't see it totally when the light's on, but when the light's off, you can see my reflection pretty well. When I was editing the time lapse of the frog, I realized that, and I was like, oh. Also, I'm gonna mess with my OBS settings a little bit more and see if I can make my source record also record the audio. Oh, that's a terrible bitrate. Wait, we need to change that. Let's see how much we can edit. I'll do that while kicking us off today, but let's see if that recording worked. Anyways, hello everybody. Hope you're doing well. It is currently 7:30 p.m. CST. I'm having a good day. I'm not sure about you guys, but man, that sounds mean. I've had a wonderful day so far. It is Thursday. My family came back from a trip, which I'm very happy to see. Yeah, I missed them a bit, all that fun stuff. But yeah, no, I'm completely caught off guard. I don't know why I suck at this intro today, but sorry about that. But yeah, thank you all for showing up. Thank you, Dazzling, Cat, and Delano. We're going to be continuing our development of our wild dog construction. So we're going to do stream. Trying to... There we go. Yeah, hopefully. Whoa. That's interesting. Maybe I don't want, maybe I just want my microphone actually. Audio track. Oh, I don't separate audio. This is gonna suck. Art keeps calling to me. Does Art have your phone number? Well, let's see if I can set it to track 1. This may make some stuff in the stream weird. It shouldn't. Okay, we're gonna set music to track 2. Let me know if you guys can't hear the music, but you should be able to. All this stuff is very weird and new to me. Cool. We're also gonna increase the bitrate. We'll do 15,000, sorry. See if that's a good amount. Remember, guys, if you're gaming, you want about 60k bits, 60 kilobits, if you will. We're going to set the record mode to streaming. We are streaming, so it should start recording. Cool. Phone IP with 3 numbers on the back. Oh, geez. They got your CCV? It's that bad? Let's see. Sorry about the delay, everybody. I'm trying to set up... I should have done this much before stream, but I was so enamored with not doing that. Streaming none. There we go. Huge. Okay. You can't escape art, and I would never want to. filters. So yeah, we're gonna see how big these files get. It's probably gonna be pretty bad. Yeah, okay, cool. So yep, hello everybody. Sorry about that like terrible kickoff. That was my bad. But legit, hope you're having a great Thursday. I'm really looking forward to today because we're gonna have a good opportunity to kick our wild dog off. Open up my pure ref here. Make sure chat's actually caught up for once. Boom. I'm gonna take a sip of water real quick because I'm just thirsty, and then we'll get into it. I've been thinking about upgrading the storage on my Linux server, so I can just keep all the videos here and store it over there. I just hope the Linux server doesn't poop itself. I've had things like that happen before. Speaking of IPs, this is just a random IP. Sorry about that. I host a Minecraft server with my friends. I've talked about this many a time. And oh wait, stop the timer. I don't have music. I need to do that. And I can like see who joins and who doesn't, and certain IPs can get denied, right? If I don't know you. Makes sense. And oh, am I not signed in? There's this weird thing. I can't remember the exact name of what it's called, but it's like the server finder or server searcher or something, and it keeps trying to join my server, and I think it's like a bot that crawls all Minecraft IPs or basically any IP with a port open for 25560. I'm like, that's kind of scummy. I mean, all of our IPs are probably being bombarded right now with attempts to connect to our SSH and stuff, or just really any port, but it was a bit surprising to say the least. It's really a form of just brute forcing what servers exist and such. Yeah, let's get some good music going. Maybe some Genshin OST. I'm feeling that. Oh my god, that is way too intense. Whoa. That's good. A bit dark in my room. Maybe I do need lights. I'm the one on stream, which like kind of blows everything out because it's the only light in the room. Anyways, let's get to it. We've yapped enough this stream. Not the best line, not the strongest line, but there. What episode of One Piece are we at, Cat? I especially like those two because they're very relatable. My dad does the same thing, and I mean, I just tell if anyone knocks on my door, I'm like, "Hey, I'm streaming," and they're like, "Oh, okay." But also, yeah, there's a very good excuse for wrapping presents. Thanks. Episode 318. Oh wait, I thought you were on 319. Okay, yeah, because I think you're in like the tech. It's technically filler right now, but it's still pretty important. And then you're going right to filler bark. Did I just say filler bark? That's insane. And no, it isn't filler. It's important. Watch Thriller Bark. But still, dang. That's funny. Like, I've never played Final Fantasy, but my friends are obsessed with it, and they say Yawn Trail instead of Dawn Trail. Stuff like that. Killer Mark. Yeah, did you think Luffy was going to win against Rob Lucci? Or do you think it was going to be like Luffy loses? We got to do planes today. Not very confident with my lines. Zoro episode? Zoro episode? I'm trying to think of which one you're on. When does the Zoro backstory happen? Where he goes like more into detail? Down the stairs. Of course, because plot armor. Do you think Luffy's always gonna win? Or do you think he'll ever lose? Trying to find the optimal length of my sleeves so they don't bother me. Oof. Yeah, I have the biggest. Okay, this is gonna sound a bit gross. I'm sorry. I have like. No, actually, I'm not gonna say it. That's gross. Luffy loses, plot advances. Luffy wins, plot ends. Filler. Okay, you think it's one of those. Do you think you'll ever like go through a lot of effort though, just to lose? Like, do you think there will be an ultimate loss at some point? Because like, as a person who watches tons of anime, I always hope for that. I'm not a. I'm not vying against them, but you know. Oh shoot! Look at that. Really smeared that ink. Thanks. Oof. No, but they don't. They don't. His training to get better. He's kind of does because of plot. Whoa. No, but they don't. His training to get better. He kind of does because of plot. I think I get what you mean. Like when the gear powers, he already knows how to do it. Ah. Oof, man. What is going on today? Oh, whoa. We're gonna spend some extra time on planes. I have no idea what's. You're fine. You're fine. We have Dazzling in the chat. Dazzling can interpret. I have no idea what's with my accuracy today. It's disappointing me a bit. Grid it. Yeah. No. Well, we'll do some more on this one. Hmm. You can tell I go quiet when I'm trying to really focus up. That means this plot is advancing. True. Yeah, I think your next anime, even though I mean One Piece is still ongoing and will be ongoing by the time you catch up, I think you should watch Hunter x Hunter. And then again, Hunter x Hunter is much different from One Piece in the sense that it has good writing. No, I'm kidding. Wow, that probably made a bunch of people mad. It has better writing in my opinion, but also it's much more violent, much more violent. Um, so take that with what you will. Oop. You can tell I was very upset about my line work when I'm spending this much extra time doing planes. I hate the unnecessary fillers in between arcs. It's annoying. I'm fine with the backstory, but the fillers suck, so I have to skip. I just want to get to the meat of the plot. Yeah, just keep in mind there's not really any filler between here and probably Saba Odi. I mean, actually, probably after Thriller Bark there's something. I'd still recommend watching them, but please, like, basically from episode 317 or whatever you're at till the end of Thriller Bark, watch it. It's all very important. And I mean, you have to admit the filler right after Skypiea. I think it's called like the G7 arc or whatever. It's whenever they land with the octopus in the military base and they have to escape. That was great filler. And retelling of old episodes I've already watched. Why do I have to see it again? Yeah. Oh no, those are, yeah, that's for like the commercial release of like people who don't have like Crunchyrolls and stuff like that to watch previous episodes, you know? Like, remember, I'm not sure if you ever like watch Adventure Time or Regular Show. Actually, Regular Show wasn't really like that. But I'd feel like, you know, some would have retelling of previous stuff that happened. Okay, that's enough warm up. Definitely a lot more warm up than usual, but there we go. Cool. Lots of warm up. So, with that being said, we're going to move on. I'm actually going to get a new piece of paper as well. Background paper. And then we're going to take a sip of water, kind of chill out for a second, let the brain sit. Then we have to finish the deconstruction of the hyena's skull front profile, so it's going to be a bit different than usual. And then I think we're good to go. Got that new piece of paper. Now this one's kind of... Yeah, welcome to One Piece. That you can never really escape from. That's why I've recommended One Piece for like knowing which episodes to watch and the such. Well, cool. Here. And we're gonna transition over to our Puref. Take a big sip of water. Very dehydrated actually, and then we'll get to it. Shout out to whoever invented water. Cool. Okay, so hyena skull. We left off yesterday. I kind of wanted to redo the muzzle. In fact, I will. I'm just not happy with the geometry. Always feel like I have to taper it right here, but that's not necessarily required. It's nice to have a taper, but we also have jowls for a reason that we're going to place on top. So we'll do just that. We're the right color and everything. It doesn't help that my camera's in the way, so I'm just going to toss it over here. Cool. So also let's check the stream, make sure things good over there. Cool, cool. Oh, stream's bitrate is 0. Can you guys hear everything? Everything good? Let's hope. The music's fading out. That's just part of the music. Yeah, okay. Oh, interesting. Yeah, let's get to it. So, yeah, what we have here is the nose. I like establishing this line first so we can make a parallel line down here. Doggy. And then we can taper this a bit if we want, but I'd be happy with kind of doing this. I almost feel like this should happen, but that doesn't make sense because we're just doing a basic primitive shape here. This, so that means this has to be parallel-ish. There's this very V shape. I'm going to move it up here though. Go. See, it's a bit asymmetrical because the head is tilted one direction more than the other. That means this line would be a bit like that. Meaning those planes get exposed a bit more than the others. Then we go down. This could honestly be shortened a bit. In fact, a lot. There we go. Yeah. Cool. And then we have to remember all of these kind of have that whirl to it. And so yeah, it's this line. I don't want it to go too far like that. That makes it look a bit poor. This, and we're actually going to make sure this one goes down a lot. There we go. I feel like this may make the nose seem a bit too broad. Definitely asymmetrical. Crocodile is still your favorite villain? I think, actually, no, you probably won't like Don Quixote. Trying to think. A lot of people like Enel, and I can see why. I think your next favorite will be Katakuri. That happens a long time from now, but I think your favorite villain will be Katakuri. A lot of people love Katakuri. I think Katakuri is probably... He's a very lame villain. Like, not the best written, but I think he's a good villain for Luffy to have. Trying to think who else. Wait, no, Crocodile's awesome. We love Crocodile. Oh, Buggy. Buggy, kind of. Oh, Mihawk, too. Hmm. Mihawk's a bit stale though. He is just kind of the classic overpowered. I think we're gonna stick with this. Here we go. A bit skinny, but that's kind of the point, right? I'm starting to believe this is 3D. Big part of it. La la la. Ears, the big old ears. We're gonna do this in orange, possibly. Why not? So yeah, we have this center line going down, which isn't really helpful. Need our more powerful orange. The ears kind of go back like this, so I know it's gonna Buggy, all right, yeah. You'll like Buggy a bit more later. In fact, a lot super later. Let's not make this so screwy. This. Big ol' ears. I think I'm gonna actually include the curve in there. Yeah, I think, and this is kind of a spoiler, kind of isn't. I think Don Quixote is the only person. I mean, Enel's pretty just straight up evil too. But I think Don Quixote is like the first legitimately evil person. Enel's bad, you know, he subjugated tons of people and basically robbed an island of its history and created a false war between them. That's horrible. But man, Don Quixote is just completely worse. And Enel's kind of like a fun bad guy. Don Quixote is just bad. He's not even like in a good way. He's just straight up evil. I can't say too much and I'll elaborate on that because I don't want to spoil anything, but man. It's a big old nose. Who knows? Eh, do a lighter color for the jowls. Jowl 1. I think this one can actually a different shape over there. This I agree with. Go right here, and then yeah, like a bit more flat over here. Be perfect. Alrighty. No, you're fine, you're fine. Have a good one. Stay well and best of luck with your studies. That one seems a bit like it protrudes out a bit too much. Go up this time like the other one. A bit better. The bottom jaw. We have these tufts of fur on the side of the face. Don't know what I was doing right there, but trying to keep it symmetrical. You can't really see it that much over here, but I definitely see these points match a bit, so. I can't see it that well here, and it's causing me to kind of. Wish I could just mirror this, but that's also not right because, it wouldn't be mirrored. Sure, it's going to be symmetrical, but it's not going to be perfectly. Getting a good mid gray with just a fine liner pins patterns. Talking like pressure? Can't really. I mean, you can, but I use a fine liner for. In fact, like that's kind of explicitly what they're not for. Are you talking about like doing like stippling or something to achieve a gray? Kind of starting to see this. It's just best. I'll leave it there for now. I won't. Looks very strange, but we'll stick with it for now. So do I. It's okay. For the eyes, it's kind of hard to see because they're not very transparent. Very blatant eyebrows though, or at least things that cover the eye. We have like this shape, and then we go around. Like not that solid though. And these are pretty smooth. Alrighty. It's rough, but I think that's the best we can do, right? I mean, what else can we do, right? It's a very complex, very, very, very complex form. Lots happening. Well, let's put it all together and see what it looks Oh, that's creepy. That's very creepy. I don't like that. Up. Interesting. There's really not any room for a head form. This is very complex. Alrighty, cool. So yeah, we have a lot cut out for us here. But I think as long as I can conceptualize this properly and I make sure I keep track of my forms, we'll do probably okay. Tricky pose though, tricky pose. Yeah. So next on the to-do list is actually doing it. Pull out my paper and stuff, reset my setup. Oh goodness. And the hardest part, in all honesty, which is getting those 3 base forms down. Yes. Cool. Okay. Oh yeah, probably need to switch the scene over. Pull out a nicer fine liner. What did I get a message of? Not important. Nice. So, also I'll get the version out where you guys can see. Also, I've been thinking about doing the stream revamp on the stream's birthday. So it's a tiny bit after, what's it called? Actually, what is the first stream? Let's check this out. This is not helpful. Maybe I'll go to my channel. See what it is. Live oldest 11 months ago. That's a cool. Let's see. December 30th. So 10 days. My gosh. Oh, we'll be only 10 days off too for or actually no, we'll be 20 days off. What am I talking about? From having 300 streams. Ugh. Hey, who cares? So, get over here. Hide the YouTube stats. Don't need to look at that all the time. So yeah, we're going to just reference this as per usual. I'm gonna study these forms real quick, actually. Just their rotation mainly. I mean, their positions are cool and stuff, but their rotation, how it degree is very open towards us, because remember our pelvis are like, what would you call a spheroid that's ovular? Ovular spheroid? Yeah, oblate. No, oblate. Like what the right? Spheroid, okay. Well, we're talking in 3D, right? Anything could be called an ellipsis, circles and ellipse, but specifically in 3D. Because our brains are in 3D, because we're 3D being. No. That sounds pretentious as hell, but yeah, so it's the degree of the center line increases because it's moving more towards us. Or it's like rotating away, I guess. You could say it either way, right? But yeah, recognizing ratios, these have a similar, not exactly the same, but a similar height to them. This one only occupies a little over half, maybe 5/8. Meanwhile, this one's practically half the size of this, but it's nearly perfect half of it's right there. The most central form is probably the rib cage. In fact, definitely the rib cage. It is not an entirely square. It's like a 4x3 picture. So we have to worry more about height than anything else. And given how important the legs are to describing what a wild dog is, we really ought to prioritize height. The highest point is the butt, but the ears get pretty close. So that means our torso should really just be in the top of our page. We don't, as long as it's in the top, maybe a bit more to the right, we should be fine. And also, am I going to put on my hoodie? I'm going to put on my hoodie real quick. Here, let's pause. Oh, I just realized I did not mute myself. So I knew I was reading something. I stopped the timer. I was like, oh, what am I thinking of? Cool. So actually, the body is like 2 1/3 torsos tall. Closer to maybe a half, but yeah, maybe 2 1/2. Which means the legs themselves are 1 1/2 torsos tall, or at least front left one. So that means safely, to say something safe, right, we need to be able to fit about less than 3 of these on a page. We'll be fine. Do we want extra room? Yes, but do we want to make this as large as possible? Yes. So without any further ado, I memorize the degrees. This one's 70-ish degrees. This one right here. This one's easily 90. This one a bit chunkier, but I'd also put it at 70, in fact. Maybe this one's more towards 65. I'm no degreeologist. I don't have a degree in degrees. So, yeah. Let's worry about this 65-degree ellipse. Being able to quantize it like that is a bit helpful. Not sure if it's a good strategy, but yeah, we want to be less than half here, maybe that tall entirely. Be somewhere around that range. We want it to be a bit to the right. That's very much to the right. I think that's pretty darn solid, though. Be a bit small even, but yeah. So yeah, that's our main torso. And then about halfway back, we have our next one, which overlaps maybe only a third of it. Once again, it's a 70 to 65-degree ellipse. Kind of tracing over my screen right now to try to feel. Yeah, it's about half. Intersect about right here. Its highest point is actually a bit higher as well. And only about a third of it actually overlaps. Once again, another 30 degree or 60-degree ellipse, 70. Oh, that sucks. That's really bad. Ooh. I cannot see that being 3D. See this back? You can see the back a tiny bit, so I actually really like that one. Too bad that's just a bomb went off. I don't know what happened right there. Make me do like push-ups every time I replace a page. So center of the page. Maybe very far to the right of the page. The major axis is tilted. Makes me a bit tilted. We should have enough room for everything still. Because the ear goes maybe another fourth off the page, or even closer to a third of a head's length. The head's length is much smaller, so we shouldn't. Yeah, we're gonna be fine there. Once again, we're not stressed for horizontal stuff. Now, as for vertical, we'll be fine. Huge. You're doing tradigital, right, Delano? You're doing like you did it first in traditional, and then you kind of ported it over to digital for better workflow with drawing or coloring. It was a bit higher. We have this nice little angle between it. Feels like everything's angled. Why am I doing this? Playing Marvel, huge. I can't get into Marvel Rivals that much. I don't know why. Maybe it's just also I'm in a very PvE mood. I've been playing Minecraft and Helldivers a lot, but... And also I'm just bad at video games. Yeah, see, the pelvis just ought to be larger. The pelvis has to be like... More like that. And we could also move so much of this inwards. Also, I'm not totally seeing that back one in 3D. I just really struggle to see things in 3D whenever I rotate the page, so that is also a big part of it. And given this, we could probably toss it to the near center of the page and it'll be fine. Cheaper. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I bought every pack of paper. This printer paper is 20 bucks and it gives me 500. So it's like, what, 4 cents per page? My math right for that? That's my camera app. Yeah, it's 2,000 cents. Divided by 500. Yeah, 4 cents per page. Yeah. So actually that's seemingly a lot of money. Or not like, I don't know, just 4 cents a page. That seems expensive for that reason. This was too high. I know that's a very weird thing to complain about here. Too high. Bit too big. And the degree was a bit too large as well. So. Like I need to move my camera in a bit more too. I'd like to scoot closer. Actually do that live. This is how I line up my camera. I just put my paper like parallel with my desk, move my camera forward, then adjust its gimbal a bit. My camera's warm. That better. I definitely need to adjust it sometime, but oof, not happy with the line work there, but we have our pelvis, so torso. I like the degree there. Pelvis. behind it. A bit higher. Bit more of the back is exposed than I would like there. In this degree, it's going to be a bit smaller because it's more towards us. Still turned away, but closer. That overlaps way too much, actually. That body is not long enough. The overlap needs to be, yeah, because this is meeting like at the half mark. This needs to be shifted over. Seeing more of the degrees that I'd like to see though, so that's good. Oof. Just cutting it close with height, but I think we'll be okay. Hopefully. Less the back this. Yeah. If this is our torso, our waist. Our waist is maybe at max half of our torso. Yeah, I could see that. Maybe a little bit more than half. Like this big. Yeah, the height isn't as strict, but got to have some reasonable bounds for it. Uh, Stick with this one for a bit. I don't like how it's giving this kind of motion. That's a bit weird. And then finally over here we have our head. It's about half height. It's in the oh, right there. I'm not going to include. Now, let's measure this in head lengths. We have 1, 3, 3 1/4. Measure it over here, just see how our scale's doing. We have 1, 2, 3 1/4. Wow. That's not like 2 1/4. It was actually 3 1/4, right? Just double checking. 1, 2 1/4. Okay. Seems a bit stiff, but oh yeah, the butt should rise a bit. My music's also getting like highly sinister, and I don't understand why. We're gonna fix that. And then, yeah, so now we have our kind of sausage form. Electronom. Electronom and D, dazzling. Electronom and D. And so, yeah, now we have this. We'll just sway underneath a bit, right? Really capture that belly that we have, in fact, so. That's awful, but we'll stick with it. And this one, oof, need a lot more ghosting right there. Stick with it. Again. I don't know, it just seems so stiff to me. We'll do the forbidden technique. See how our forms are lining up. Actually quite rotated, which is weird. I understand how that happened, but guess we go for the legs next, or we're in this mess. Um, really not feeling this one though. It feels messy. I'm gonna put this one on the side. I don't know, I just don't feel it, which is weird. I don't think I've had this feeling before. Something feels off though, and I want to correct it. It feels a bit better. As for the head, I feel like it needs to be pushed to the right a bit. We're at 1, 2, 3. More than that. 1, 2. bit larger than I anticipated. But I'm going to stick with this effect. I'm feeling this a bit. I feel like these would kind of help me realize this, but you really can't see the neck. But I'm going to still do a makes the neck seem a bit stubby. I feel like it should have had a path from like up here instead. We'll hold off for now. As for this leg, take a sip of water real quick. That back leg is just capturing so much of my attention. It spans from even below this, right there, like almost the top of the butt. It's ridiculous. It's huge. Yeah, and I kind of cut it off there, and we could yeah, okay, that makes sense. So we can have an additive form to describe that, and then the amount of which it kind of separates itself from the parent form is also interesting. Yeah, this thing successfully spans the major axis is a bit out as well. We're going like this. Now I have to be careful because we want to imagine this as a 3D form. Oh, and we do have this form to kind of help us. So this doesn't need to go half as far. It could be like this. And this one probably lands at the same height of the stomach. Kind of tilted the side. For additive form like this, that will be pretty successful. But this is dangerous. The fact the major axis is going out like that concerns me. Because that makes... doesn't feel like it can be like this anymore. We are now going to have a sausage form going like this. Out of it. Let's see, the knee, we'll start measuring in head's length now. It's a smaller unit than 4, and that's about 3/4 a head length down, maybe even a bit more. In half. That's more so 3/4. Maybe 5/8. 5/8 a head length. From here. Going across. About right there is where the knee is. Half. 5/8 down. Cross. That's where that knee is. And this thing needs to continue this. As for the vertical direction, the need to, we have to consider that. And honestly, I'd just say edge of the knee, yeah, cuts off the last maybe 5th. That's 5ths here, which concerns me a bit. Last 5th of this. That's kind of where we guesstimated a bit. So it'd be and how far does it go? Would it go back? It's not going to clear the entire thing. There's still going to be a bit of mass left, but let's say it goes like this, probably. And this is a different intersection now. You go like this. My head. And a bit more to the side. Maybe should have been a bit lower, but how I feel about that one. There's our knee. We have this simple form that travels very far back. Let's get a head length for that. See, that travels all the way back here. From about right here. Head length this bit right here. That's maybe, once again, 3/4, maybe even more. But no, yeah, about 3/4. I'd say even like another 5/8. So basically this distance, but double. Actually, this distance is a bit longer than it should have been. So we'll do a bit shorter than that. It's once again, it's traveling back. This one is completely passes. It's going to end about, it'll end the back. Just the height's going to be a bit different. And this one's kind of traveling away from us. We're looking more down at this time. But it's still quite far away from the edge here. That's the edge. And if this is probably the full width of our thing, a bit less, about a third, I'd say. Closing to a half. So 3/8. Wait. Oh, thirds to eighths is weird. Yeah, I'm not doing that. You guys can figure that one out. I'm no mathematician. What is going on? Is this song? Wait, how long is this song? Why is it saying we're skipping this? It said it was 49 minutes. Did I mess that up somehow? I don't know. There's about a third of this in, one out. Then did about That's way too far. And you get into some pretty lanky legs. So head's length down. A little over 2 heads lengths. If not exactly 2 heads length. So 1, 2, measure from the bottom of my thumb. That doesn't seem right. Because that's basically where that one lands. That's not good. Really not good. So this is too long. I don't want to mess up. So I guess all of it's going to be a bit too long. So that means we have to scale proportionally is probably our best bet. Going from here to here. So this is just slightly longer. So that makes sense if it was right here. We go all the way back here. I think that's the best place it can land. And this one's kind of going away from us, so it's going to seem stiffer than the rest. We still want this negative shape to happen here. We need to keep in mind. Yeah, this. Actually, it happens more like this, which is weird. Regardless, we're going to go a bit like this. These legs are killing me, guys. So is the music player. Go out further back. No. I feel like we need to redo the way we're doing these legs. I'm just not satisfied at all with how these legs are going. Let's look at some drawbox stuff and see, we may have to do a recall, which is unfortunate. I don't really want to do that, but drawbox. I'm just really, really, really unhappy with how this is turning out. Informal demos aren't totally helpful with legs. A lot of these are side profiles. And they do the old way of doing the legs, a lot less sausage forms. See, this makes somewhat of sense to me, but I feel like let's spend the rest of the stream just trying to dissect how to do these legs here. Because yeah, if we're to do a center line, like I have an option to like not worry about this and continue on with it, but I feel like that's just cheating myself. I'll learn a lot more if I approach it. That's at least what I'm telling myself. We'll see if that holds true, but man, this is the most annoying song I've ever heard in my whole life. I'm never listening to that again. Wow. Hmm. Hmm. I see this working a bit better. How are you guys? Let's see if we can do this to all the legs. This one's a bit more difficult, but I almost feel like it should be like this. I see this. I see this actually quite well. This one's a bit tough, but I definitely see these two. So we're gonna stick with this, and I think we're gonna call it there. It's a bit unfortunate that we've, you know, we experimented. So I mean, it's not a waste of time. It's just time spent. Actually, no, it's perfectly invested time. In all honesty, sure, it sucks that I didn't get it perfectly first try, and you know, it all worked out instantly. But who cares, right? Because I made the. It sounds like cope. It isn't. I promise. I learned in the end, and I think that's one of the most important parts, and why. Okay, I'm not gonna tout and say redos are good. No, but I think moments like these are exceptional. The aha moments. So I feel really good about this one. We're gonna catch up on it tomorrow. I'm just glad that we're pen to paper this fast. And that I didn't really hold myself up on trying to experiment it with just on the page. And this breakdown was really helpful. So yeah, with that being said, everybody, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you, Dazzling, Delano, Kat. I think that was everybody. Thank you all so much. We're getting near the birthday of the stream. I will be, hopefully by then, unveiling the new stream layout. We'll have a new microphone, new setup. It's gonna be awesome, and I can't wait. But until then, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I can't wait to see you guys. Bye for now.